Good morning, Hate Nation, folks, cats, and everything between and beyond. My name is Roy, the only host in the history of internet, as far as I'm concerned, fully and wholeheartedly admits that he has no idea what he's talking about, but he tries.
Welcome to Mahapenny's Miami Heat and More podcast. Let's welcome our host, Roy.
And I'm recording the first video in a long time. I can't stress enough how much it's been challenging times. And the reason that I want to say this is because ever since I started with a cooperation of Raf, particularly mostly from him and a lot of work that he does, posting on social media, posting stats, posting, game factoids, posting trade factoids, basically presenting a lot of Heat content, which is already out there for sure, but for the, different communities and different kind of club. And recording these videos was a big part of the initiative of even having that banner, right? Mahapenny's. But yes, it's been challenging. When I talked about Butler's stay in the team being similar to a divorce, I am talking a lot about my perspective, it's not easy. So I don't know how many videos I'm going to be able to record, if I'm going to be able to do pre-games, post-games or not, but I'm still going to record. And again, that's more for me than for anything else. And I already recorded a video before, which was supposed to be on the state of the Miami Heat. And when I was about recording, I think we were 1-5 at the time, and then we kind of got into a little bit of a rhythm, and it does seem like Spo kind of found his team, and then we got hit with the injury bug. We played the Cavaliers today. I was supposed to record this video yesterday, which is after 60 games, because let's talk about basically where the team stands and where we are in general as it pertains to the Miami Heat. So the first stat that I want to read, and those are going to be, as usual, what we always call our stat pennies, right? The first stat that I want to talk about are our offensive and defensive rating. And so in terms of our offensive rating, Alec Burks rates number one with an 118.2. This is not going to do. Let me expand the picture. Otherwise, I'm too blind for this kind of situation. So let's go here. Yeah, this works a lot better. Tyler Herro is number two at 117.8. Of course, usage and time on the floor. Obviously, Tyler Herro is the leader in terms of scoring. Kel'el Ware is number three with 117.5. Haywood Highsmith is number four, 116.4. Pelle Larsson is number five, 115.4 in offensive rating. In defensive rating, individually, Kel'el Ware is at 120.9. What, he had 6 blocks the other game before been taken out by the coach. I don't know what was there, but obviously there was something that he needed to tend to. That's why I didn't play the next game either. Bam Adebayo is number two in defensive rating with a 121.3 score. Jaime Jaquez Jr. has 121.6. Haywood Highsmith at 4, 121.9. And Nikola Jovic at 5, 122. So Jaime Jaquez, Kel'el Ware, and Nikola Jovic. Nikola Jovic possibly for the season, depending on how our season goes and depending on how his recovery goes. They're all out and injured for this game against the Cavaliers as well. As it pertains to, let's take a look here. The way that I organize my email is a little bit complicated here because this is not exactly the way that I envisioned it. But let's talk about points per game. Points per game, of course, Tyler Herro is leading the bunch with 23.9. Andrew Wiggins is number two since he came to the Heat with 17.8, which is good for us because he's been active defensively and offensively. Well, he's injured. Bam Adebayo is number three, 17.2. Terry Rozier is number four with 11.9 points per game. But anyway, I gotta talk about Rozier because I think that he's finally finding his way out of the rotation somehow. And Duncan Robinson is number 5 with 11 points per game. It did have a great recent stint with us. As far as rebounds per game go, and I'm not talking about the team stats, but I'm going to take a look at that later. As far as rebounds go, our rebound leader is still Bam Adebayo with 9.9. Kelly Ware is 6.4. Tyler Hero with 5.4. Andrew Wiggins with 4.8. And Jaime Jaquez Jr. with 4.6. Again, Khalil Ware, Andrew Wiggins, Jaime Jaquez Jr., all of them injured. In terms of assists per game, Tyler Hero leads the bunch, as we already know. Yeah, I need to check what's going on here. 5.7 assists per game. Bam Adebayo 4.3. Davion Mitchell 4.2. Another excellent addition. Andrew Wiggins 3.3. And Nikola Jovic 2.8. Davion Mitchell, Andrew Wiggins, and Nikola Jovic are out for today's game against the Cavaliers. I think Andrew Wiggins was listed as questionable. I'm not sure if it's still in that list. I'll have to take a look at it later and find out about it. But you just can see that the additions are contributing, and you can also see how much the injury bug is also something that, definitely affects the performers in general. In terms of steals per game, we have Bam Adebayo with 1.2, Davion Mitchell with 1.2, Andrew Wiggins at 1.2. So all of them are tied. It's 1, 2, 3, but all of them are tied. Jaime Jaquez Jr. 1.1, Nikola Jovic 0.9, Davion Mitchell, Andrew Wiggins, Jaime Jaquez Jr., and Nikola Jovic are all out of the game today against the Cavaliers. In terms of, that just paints the entire picture. At the end of the day, every time that I say any name in this list, while I wait for the computer to actually scan the viruses, because I didn't come prepared. Because why be prepared? I'm doing this so much commando, so much guerrilla style. Blocks per game, Kelly Ware with 1.1, Andrew Wiggins with 1, Bam Adebayo 0.7, Haywood Highsmith 0.6, Davion Mitchell 0.3. Again, Kelly Ware, Andrew Wiggins, and Davion Mitchell are listed as out. If I'm not mistaken, Kelly Ware as well, right? Yeah, I don't think he traveled with the team for the game against the Cavaliers tonight. They did play yesterday, and I think that Mitchell played yesterday, so he might rest today. I know, or Mobley didn't play yesterday, so he might not rest today. We'll see what's going to happen. In terms of field goal percentage per game, Khalil Ware 54.8%, Davion Mitchell 53.8%, Bam Adebayo 48.6%, Haywood Highsmith 47.8%, Tyler Hero 45.9%, Khalil Ware, Davion Mitchell are not listed for the game tonight against the Cavs. They are injured, as we already know. In terms of free throws and three-point shooting, which is going to be the last stat that I talk about here. Of course, when I take a look, because I failed to send, I think, the general stats of the team for myself, but I see that I have a slight internet issue as well. So it's not just me, but let me see if I can find this final stat over here. In terms of 3 points per game, we have Davion Mitchell at 46.9. Let me just increase this a little bit. Alec Burks 42.7%, Haywood Highsmith 41%, Duncan Robinson 38.3%, and Tyler Hero 37.1%. That's 3 points field goal percentage. Again, Davion Mitchell, and that's it. In this list, only Davion Mitchell is out. For free throws, Duncan Robinson 90%, Tyler Hero 86.5%, Terry Rozier 85.7%, Nikola Jovic 82.8%, Andrew Wiggins 82.1%. Andrew Wiggins improved a little bit. I thought it was going to hover around the 60s, but no. Anyway, Nikola Jovic and Andrew Wiggins listed as out for today's game against the Cavaliers. In general, Miami Heat stands at the most important, at least, stats. Okay, maybe we have an issue. Again, it's an internet issue. Yeah, points per game were 25th, 110.3. Rebounds per game were 22nd, 43.8. Assists per game, we are 16th, 26.4. And opponents scored allowed per game, we are at 7th at 110.5. I don't know, basically what to say more than I honestly expected this team to play worse than it did, considering the first stretch when after the trade, but it positively surprised me. It didn't play worse. I think that when we had the team, especially when we had everybody healthy it seemed like Spo had finally figured out what kind of rotation he wanted. You still get Rozier here and there, but it's not the same amount. Even now that everybody's injured, I still see, Pelle Larsson playing more minutes, which is important. So you cut Rozier's minutes to the minimum. Alec Burks kind of carrying that part and, doing his job. Everybody's doing their job a little bit better. They still had horrible fourth quarter. In this 10-game stretch, I think we're 4-6. Those 6 losses, one with 85 and the other one with 86 points, if I'm mistaken, both of them happened in the same 10-game stretch. I may be, just right now a little bit tripping as usual, but the main point is I kind of saw, okay, there's no hope for this team, and all of a sudden they kind of gave me some signs of hope, especially beating the Pacers. They could have beaten the Knicks, and I do think that it's unfair to criticize that game because of the fact that Khalil Ware had a huge impact on the game, and he was, in my opinion, unloyally taken out by Mitchell Robinson at the end of the third quarter. I'm sorry, at the end of the half. And then he didn't come back to play the next or the fourth quarter. I don't remember exactly which of the parts, but he couldn't finish the game. And obviously didn't play last game, so obviously he's injured with a knee issue. It was, I think, a knee-to-knee or some sort of twist. It was kind of a goofy contact there between the two players. But the main idea is, as far as we can expect, we're a lot more sure that we can expect to be in the play-in. It's very difficult to fall off of the play-in. I think that we're not going to play that much worse than we've played, and even without some key players, we've been able to get the job. I mean, getting the job done against the Wizards, I think it's just not, there's no possibility of losing against the Wizards, especially when they don't have their main players there. So, yeah, thank God this was a victory that, over 10 points, also, double-digit victory. But against the Pacers, it was the most interesting. We definitely could have gotten the Knicks. We had the game, I suppose, as like 4 points with 2 minutes to go or something like that, 4 points up. Or anyway, they basically got us. They did what they needed to do with us, and they finished the job as they did 9 times out of 10 this season, as we did in the season of 22-23. Won games by 3 points or fewer as a record of teams. So that just goes to show that what kind of team the Knicks have. I don't know what kind of playoff run they can make. It should be an interesting one. But the main point, of course, in this, I don't have a pyramid. There's no pyramid to put right now. Obviously, Hero is the owner of the team offensively. Bam is doing a lot better offensively as well. I don't think that Ware and Bam necessarily work as well defensively. But again, when Ware gets his rhythm, then yes, he does do well. And he does help a lot. And he does help because Bam ends up scoring more points. You can see that obviously, Kevin Love can't carry that load at all. So obviously we can't count on him as a big. He's just wasting a roster spot. So we know that there are going to be major changes in the offseason. What kind of changes in terms of major? Are we going to get rid of any of our core? When I say core, I always say Tyler Hero, Duncan Robinson, Bam Adebayo. It's not Haywood Highsmith. It's not, Nikola Jovic even. It's not Jaime Jaquez, obviously, had the sophomore wall that he hit this season. But still, it's a better, we all knew that it was a better team than what they were performing. And that after the trade, they should have been better defensively. And I think it showed in their wins when they were healthy. Once they were not healthy, again, you lose Jovic, you lose Khalil Ware. You lose Davion Mitchell, which wasn't consequential yet because we just it didn't just play against the Cavaliers. We don't have Andrew Wiggins, so yeah, you have a situation, right? You basically don't have Andrew Wiggins. You have Khalil Ware, you have Davion Mitchell. You have a situation in which right now you're dealing with the injury bug late in the season, late for the playoff push. But let's just be honest here: there is no coming out of the 7th spot for us. We're not going to get right now. It's 6 wins over. The 6th place, which if I'm not mistaken, is the Pistons, which are have 35 wins and we have 29. We are still 2 above 500. I honestly don't think that we're going to be much better tonight. It's probably going to be 2. It's probably going to be 3 under 500. The Cavaliers are not an easy team to beat, and we are even though a couple of players from G League have been recalled, we're still not a team that has the firepower, let's just say, right, the player power, the athleticism power to actually win this game against Cavaliers. Now, I'm not being a negative Nancy. I always want us to win. I just don't think that we have enough. And we also don't have enough to fall from the play-in. Where we end does matter, because if we have to play 2 games, I would say we're probably out. But if we have to play 1 game, we may be in just because of that 1 game. And then if we get to playoffs, I think that we unlock potential for future playoffs, even though we draft a little bit higher this season. Or if we don't make the playoffs, then we don't. I mean, that's basically the only category, because the standings and the draft numbers still depends only on the regular season, right? But yeah, if we don't make the play-ins, we're probably then going to draft a little higher. We're going to have 2 interesting picks, and that's going to be more valuable than having any assets until 2030, which is basically, 4 seasons without assets to trade. In any case, that's pretty much for me. Nothing else to say. Everybody stay safe, stay dry, stay as happy as possible. It's a very complicated world of ours. Continue rooting for the team. It doesn't matter who plays, who's out on the floor. If it's my grandma, your grandma, our grandma, I don't care. I'm still going to watch Miami Heat. Let's go Heat.